The South African Human Rights Commission has visited the West Rand in Gauteng following days of protests by residents who say they're fed up with illegal mining and crimes they say are committed by illegal miners in Krugersdorp and surrounds. We can speak about this now with Buang Jones, who's the Gauteng Provincial Manager at the Human Rights Commission. Buang, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Daytime Update. Let's talk about your visit to the West Rand, what you had set out to do and what you found.
Well, the visit was prompted by what has been happening in the last few weeks, the abhorrent incidents of rape that occurred, and the subsequent mobilization of communities to fight against illegal mining in the West Rand. The chairperson of the South African Human Rights Commission deemed it appropriate for us to conduct this fact-finding exercise and to also join the ministerial imbizo to establish what were some of the interventions, or what are some of the causes, in order to see if we could be of assistance in finding lasting solutions.
So, from what was said, I mean, there were 2 days at the Imbizos led by the police minister, Begitele, right? The first was in West Village, where those 8 women were gang raped, and then on Sunday it moved on to Kagiso, which is where we then saw the shutdown midweek. What from what the residents were saying to you or to the minister was most concerning?
I think what was most concerning is the trust deficit and the low confidence in the ability of the police to firstly quell protest and to deal with illegal mining. There were a number of allegations that were made that some police members are also involved, and there's a need to trace the entire value chain of illegal mining, as it is highly syndicated, as it involves some mining companies, it involves individuals in the police service and community leaders as well.
And as far as the commitments then made by the police minister and the rest of the government delegation there, are you convinced that all of it is enough to address the problem in the long term? Because it's one thing to, for example, deploy members of the tactical response team, set up a unit that has been used in other parts of the country to look at how disused mining areas then become a haven for crime and the illegal extraction of minerals. But this is something that needs to be effective 10, 20 years from now still.
Yeah, we cannot resolve this issue only through brute force, by deploying the Special Task Force, the National Intervention Unit. We require a holistic approach which would assist in ensuring that we regularize artisanal mining, and locals benefit from artisanal mining, and they are granted licenses by the Department of Minerals and Energy. But we also require the Department of Minerals and Energy to ensure that they come up with closure requirements and rehabilitation programs of disused mines or old mines that have not yet been rehabilitated.
Am I right to say from what you're saying then that the plan so far is not as holistic as it should be, or not holistic at all?
It's not holistic at all. You cannot resolve this issue through a police intervention alone.
And let's talk about that, because this is not the first area that's been promised the deployment of the tactical response team, right? We've seen similar promises made to communities dealing with gangsterism, etc. And I wonder if the Human Rights Commission thinks that government is alive to the unique requirements of each situation where crime is involved.
I don't think government is fully conversant with how to respond, firstly how to quell public protests, how to respond to protests. And I also think the police have had to deal with a number of service delivery protests because of policy failures, because of other challenges at an institutional level. But I think going forward, there is a need for government to work together with communities. There has to be better community policing, better engagement and constructive interaction with communities to find solutions to crime, to find solutions to issues of zamazamas, because we don't think that the police are fully equipped to deal with the other social issues that manifest themselves during public protests.
And these are years-old problems on the West Rand. People say for years they've been complaining about illegal mining, how some of the illegal miners rape women. People were also telling harrowing stories about abduction in some instances. Has the government failed to do its job in protecting communities? Has it violated the rights of such communities?
The government has failed. We issued a report 8 years ago on extractive industries, and the focus was on artisanal mining. The focus was on the impact of mining on our scarce water resources. Government has not adequately dealt with issues of our porous borders. There's illegal migration into the country. So these are all issues that require the Minister of Social Development, Minister of Home Affairs, Minister of Justice, Minister of Police, Minister of State Security to come up with a comprehensive plan which will seek to address these issues once and for all. You
spoke about long-term planning, right, and dealing with the issue beyond the deployment of boots on the ground. What is the Human Rights Commission going to do to make sure that government keeps its word to the people of the West Rand?
Well, we have 3 mandate areas: to protect, to promote, and to monitor. And we are going to continue monitoring the situation on the ground. We will also participate in broader stakeholder engagements with a view of finding solutions.
You are at the end of your time at the Human Rights Commission. You've been in Gauteng for a few years now. You've dealt with a lot, including allegations of racism, issues around clean water supply provision in Hammanskraal, and now the situation on the West Rand. As you look back now, as you leave, what is the state of human rights in Gauteng?
The state of human rights in Gauteng. I think Gauteng, there has been progress, but I think there has been little attitudinal change on the part of state actors and non-state actors, because we continue to see a number of human rights abuses being exposed by the media in Gauteng. We continue to see inaction by the Gauteng Provincial government. We continue to see the business sector not coming to the party as they are enjoined to promote compliance with the Bill of Rights. So the situation has not really improved. It had to take the Gauteng office to intervene in a number of systemic issues to get a response from the Gauteng provincial government, to get a response from the business sector. And I'm hopeful that the person that will take over from me will continue with all the legacy projects, the Hammanskraal issues, where we've issued reports, Alexander, we've issued reports, Val River inquiry, where we issued reports. These are projects that are initiated, which I hope will result in remedial steps being taken to address some of the issues that we're able to flag in our reports.
But realistically, Buang, given that we're seeing, or at least hearing more and more about the Human Rights Commission and its intervention, because I'm not sure if it's become more involved or if we're reporting more on it, how much can the Commission do to address all of these issues? You can't, I'm sure, deal with each and every case.
We can't. We have capacity constraints. We have funding challenges. I lead a team of more than 10 people. We have about 9 lawyers. So the ratio is 9 legal practitioners to 15 million inhabitants in Gauteng. You cannot expect the Commission to fully discharge its mandate when it does not have capacity.
Buang Jones, Gauteng Provincial Manager for the Human Rights Commission. Good to have your time and all the best with your future.
Thank you, Mkaya.
Thank you.